What's up? What's up, guys? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we will be looking at exercise 27 of our Python exercise tutorial series. Without any further ado, let's get to it. So, one thing you will notice is that I've actually coded out some of the question before actually starting recording, and the reason for this, guys, is simply because uh, this question is not entirely difficult, but the prompt itself was a bit long to type on video basically while recording from the start, mostly because of this table of information that would have taken a few minutes more. So that's why I just coded the beginning of the, or more like typed out the beginning of the text prompt to save time for us. So I will proceed to type the remaining portion and we will talk after that. Okay, there we have it. Exercise 27. The Chinese zodiac assigns animals to years in a 12-year cycle. 1 year supposed to be one. One 12-year cycle is shown in the table below. The pattern repeats from there, with 2012 being another year of the dragon and 1999 being another year of the hare. And we see there's a table that is given to us, two columns, year and animal, telling us, what animal maps to what year in the Chinese zodiac. And they request us develop a Python program that reads in a year from the user and displays the animal associated with that year. Your program should work correctly for any year greater than or equal to 0, not just the ones listed in the table. So, guys, we see now basically what we can infer and what we can understand from this specific portion of the text prompt or the problem prompt is that they want us to cater for basically every year, every possible year that's going to be encountered and has been encountered. So basically, our if elif ladder is not kind of singling out these specific years. It's not just looking for 2000, 2001, and so on. It's looking for basically an infinite number of years. Whatever year we pass into our program, some sort of decision making or maths needs to be done by us that enables our program to translate and check whether that year corresponds to, the dragon, the snake, horse, and so on as part of the zodiac signs. So, specifically, they told us that this Python program will only read in a year. So, a year is in the form of an integer, as we know. These are integers. Yeah, these are integers 2000, 2001, 2003. That's fine. And yeah, it's mostly that. So the maths is all up to us to do, and it's maths that we did learn in high school. So essentially, what we need to check is if the number is divisible by 12, because there's 12 years in a cycle. See, they told us in the prompt. There's here assigns animals to years in a 12-year cycle. So we need to check if the year that's passed in by the user is divisible by 12, and if there's remainders, we need to check, according to this table, what that remainder will cause that year to be falling in as part of what zodiac sign. So I do hope this is making sense to you. So, I mean, the easiest thing to do would be to first we need to check. First, we need to use some strategy here from all these years. There's 12 here. Yes, there's 12. From these 12 years, can we find a year that is exactly divisible by 12? Let's just do some random checking. So I checked beforehand and I already know the solution, but now as part of the demonstration, let's take each of these years and let's just check if any of these years from 2000, we'll go from 2000 up to 2011, and we just trial and error, we're checking to see if any of these years are exactly divisible by 12. So in order to see if something is exactly divisible, you can look at if there's a remainder or not. That's one way to do it, right? And to do that, we use the modulus percentage sign. So I'm now in the IPython console just to do some quick maths on the go. So we'll do 2000 mod 12 is a remainder of 8. So what if we try 2001? There's a remainder of 9. 2002, 10. 2003, 11. 2004. We see that there is now a remainder of 0. But now what if we do 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12? Excellent, guys. See, that may have been cumbersome to actually watch or follow along through, but what I'm trying to get at here is that there's a pattern, because they've made the problem quite easy for us by being kind enough to tell us about the 12-year cycle and so on. Essentially what's happening is that 2004 is a year that is exactly divisible by 12, which means the remainder is 0, right? And now 2005, as the year kept increasing, you saw that the remainder was increasing by 1, right? From 0, 0 as the remainder, then it went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, up until it reached a point where it reached 8 again, and our cycle started at 8 because we are starting with the year 2000. It's kind of an awkward number to start with, but the reason why they did that is exactly to make the problem a problem for us, so that we have some sort of reasoning. Okay, now to be honest with you, this program is mostly focused on maths, and I'm not going to get into too much detail, but as you can see, there is clearly a pattern here. 8, 9, 10, 11, then it hopped back to 0, which means that the most remainder we'll ever get when dividing any year by 12, the highest remainder we can get is 11. And that does make sense, okay, because it cannot be 12 or more, because then if it's entirely divisible by 12, there's no remainder, which is why 0 is returned. And then if we exceed 12, it's basically looping back now from 1 all the way up until 11 again, and then it starts at 0. So I do hope this is making sense to you. Now that we have some sort of intuition and idea behind the problem and the maths involved, really all we need to do is just sort of translate the maths that we did here to our if else ladder. So first things first, let's begin by reading in our input. I'll set up a variable or identifier, call it year, int input, and we'll kindly request the user, please enter a year. Okay, that's step 1 done. Next, as you know, it's time for our if else ladder. So the first thing we did, right, we checked 2000. So essentially, let's work with this remainder onwards. from 8, 9, 10, 11, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So essentially, let me maximize or make this larger. And these are what we are going to be working with. Those are the years given to us. We know the remainder. There's 12 if you count them all together. So from this one up to here, there's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Correct. 100% on the right track. Now, simple maths, exactly as we've discussed. If year mod 12 is equals to 8, animal is equals to dragon. Take a moment to look at this, guys. I think the only explanation you need here is this creation of an animal variable or identifier, and it's storing the name dragon, which is as they've given us here. And this makes 100% sense because the year is 2000, as we've even done in our maths to double check. The year is 2000 divided by 12, and the remainder is, if the remainder is 8, as indicated by our if statement, then that animal should be a dragon. And it's as we have proof here. 2000 divided by 12 has a remainder of 8. And according to the table, the year 2000 belonged to dragon. So we are on the right track. For this problem, it is kind of also being able to work backwards with what you have. So if year mod 12 is equals to, now we'll do 9. Animal is equals to, this will be snake. I'll copy and paste this. So the reason as to why I'm also doing it in this kind of, I would say out of order in inverted commas, because usually you'd start with 0 as the remainder, and then you check now 1, 2, 3, 4. But sometimes doing it in the order in which the question is given to you makes your life much easier, especially now since we know for a fact that we cannot mess up the values that our if else ladder will translate to. So we are following the exact order in this table. Okay, so after dragon came snake. That's excellent. After snake comes horse. And for horse to be, kind of identified, the year of the horse, we need to have a remainder of 10. So let's enter 10 here. So that's fine. After horse comes sheep. Sheep. And for sheep, we need to have a remainder of 11. That's good. So after 10, 11. Fine. Now we jump to 0. So let's move this one alif up. After sheep, alif year mod 12 is equals to 0. Animal can be a monkey. monkey. That's good. Let's bring one more alif up. Alif year mod 12 is equals to 1. The animal should be a rooster. Next, the remainder of 2, the animal should be a dog. Let's move this if statement up. 3, animal, pig. The remainder of 4, this should be a rat. A remainder of 5 translates to, let's check the animal, ox. Next, a remainder of 6 translates to tiger. And this should be, and this is our last alif statement as part of the ladder. And the final animal is a hair. Yeah, that's excellent, guys. That is all for the decision making for this problem. If you count the number of conditions, they are 12. Okay, which means we are doing 12 checks to check the remainder for that 12-year cycle when a year is divided by the number 12. Okay, so finally, we'll provide the user with an output message saying, in this specific output message, we can be a bit fancy. They did not specify how to format it. They just wanted us to, tell the user what zodiac sign is or falls in that particular year. So what we can do is make it a bit fancy. We can say percentage, percentage D is the, we are using our placeholders, year of the percentage S. Okay, excellent. We'll provide formatting for this placeholder. Two values. So percentage D is the placeholder for an integer value. In our case, it's year. And percentage S is the placeholder for a string value. I don't think we spoke about this. This is probably the first time I'm mentioning this to you. I know we spoke about the placeholder for floating point values, if I'm not mistaken. And I told you, placeholders are very, very helpful, very useful. So in this lesson, we won't talk much about it. I told you placeholders as well as namespaces. I kind of confused namespaces and placeholders in a previous video, but both those topics are super interesting and also like one of my favorite to actually implement in Python. But we'll save excessive discussion on placeholders and namespaces for future tutorials or videos. Just know that placeholders and namespaces are two completely different things. Placeholders is what we are using now. They help us to they help make formatting of strings much easier for us, as in our case, as we are seeing now. So year will be propagated to the percentage D placeholder, and for the percentage S within this tuple, let's pass animal. Correct, because we've provided animal values in our if else ladder. This should be all for the program. We've successfully met all the requirements. Now final test would be, let's proceed to run this program, enter some input, make sure the program works and returns the correct, a zodiac sign. So let's how can we do this? Okay, so we just checked, right? And we found out that 2004 was exactly divisible by 12. We just checked and the remainder was 0. So if I add 12 to 2004, that's going to be 2016. So 2016 should be the year of a monkey. That's what we are expecting. Let's see if the program works. Excellent, guys. 2016 is the year of the monkey. So let's try this one more time. Let's try to get a tricky one. Maybe let's try to get one with the tiger. So that's going to be 2022. Oh, which is this year. Here, the current year. This should be returning to us 2022 is the year of the tiger. Let's press enter. Excellent, guys. 2022 is the year of the tiger. So with that, we've successfully and efficiently solved exercise 27 of our Python exercise tutorial series. We did very well, guys. This video is actually clocking 19 minutes and 20 seconds or so. So with that, guys, I thank you for staying till the end and watching my channel, and I hope I'm able to help you out in some way. Do make sure you leave a like for the video, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and good luck with your work, and I'll see you in the next YouTube video.